Hi, welcome to an absolutely improvised monologue. You know the drill. Right down there is a prompt from somebody. You might want to click notifications because we're switching our days. We're not going to be shooting Monday, Wednesday, or Friday anymore. We're going to be shooting Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I say we to sound like it's more than just me and my phone and my imagination, which I guess is three, so it is we. Here we go. So I'm standing there in the kitchen making a pot of ragu, right? It's getting ready to be cool out. We want to have a nice red gravy with some angel hair, And I'm pretty excited. I got the garlic in there. I got some oregano in there. I got the crushed peppers, stewed peppers, blended peppers, tomatoes, olive oil. I'm in my element. The house smells like that little corner just left of heaven. Everything is as it should be. In through the door walks Gail Jr. She throws her book bag across the room, stamps her feet. I said, someone a bitch, somebody pissed off my Gail. Maybe somebody hurt her. Now maybe somebody's not going to sleep good tonight and they're going to be eating with a straw for a week. So I turn the heat down a little bit, throw a couple turkey necks in there, and I go out to the front porch. And I'm looking. And here comes Gail. Now, there's two things you never want to see in your life, and if you do, you get out of the way. One of them is my wife, Gail, when she's angry. Get out of the way. Done. So I hold the door, and I say, oh, dear, and I get out of the way. She comes through, she turns on, she goes, your children. And she walks away. I'm like, I had no idea what to do. What do you do? They're her children too. I mean, they came out of her. I put them in, she put them out, right? So I don't say a word. I go back to the sauce. I'm making the sauce. She's upstairs. She's walking back and forth on heavy feet. She's not quite Louis Prima mad, but she's getting there. Heavy feet. You see, Louis Prima mad. When you get mad, you put on Louis Prima, and before you know it, you're singing Bachagaloop, and you're not mad anymore, right? We all know that. Everybody got that. Everybody's got their Louis Prima. Anyway, so she's up there storming back and forth. Gail Jr.'s in her room, back and forth. But Gail Jr.'s smart. She puts in the old earbuds. Finally, Pork Chop Jr. comes in, and he says, hey, Pops, who dented your Chevy? I said, what is that, a euphemism? He said, no, Pops, your car's got a big dent in it. Son of a bitch. So I go upstairs. I said, Gail Jr., get down here. And I heard Gail Jr. coming. And from back from the master bedroom, I heard, I'm just a gigolo. Everywhere I go, people know the song I'm playing. Okay, I better let Gail sit for another minute. So I said, Junior, sit down. What's going on? What's happening here with the Chevy and the dent and you and the mom? And Gail Jr. says, Mom's trying to teach me how to drive the car, and I seen his fire hydrant, but it didn't get out of the way, and so we left some paint on it. I said, that's the most roundabout way of saying that you nailed the fire hydrant. Well, Pops, I didn't nail it so much. And right as she said that, I didn't know that Gail was right behind me. And Gail Jr.'s eyes went like this, and Gail went, what? Except in a Gail voice. I don't do Gail's voice because never make fun of Gail. Anyway, so it turns out that Gail let Gail Jr. drive. Gail Jr. hit the fire hydrant. I said, son of a bitch, I just got that car. I mean, it's not new to me. It's 12 years old. It's got an 8-track player, but I love that car. So I says, we got to go to driving school. I'll pay them the money, and they can take care of you and not dent my car no more. So the first thing I do is I call my insurance guy. I call him up. I said, hey, Vinny, you got to throw a claim in there. Yeah, no, I was driving. I got run off the road. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know you know it wasn't me, but come on. We're family. All right, thanks, man. He takes care of that business. I called my other buddy. I said, listen, Lance, you still working at that driving school? He says, what else am I going to do? I said, okay, good. So here's the deal. We're bringing Gail Jr. by Saturday. He said, no, no more women drivers. I said, Lance, is that the way you talk about my kid? He said, okay. I said, all right. I'm going to bring Gail Jr. to the driving school on Saturday. You're going to teach her how to drive in one of your cars, not one of mine. You're going to teach her the one important rule about driving, and that is fire hydrants don't get out of your way. And then when you're done teaching her how to drive, we're going to take her down to the DMV and let her see what that's all about. Get her driver's license, and we'll be all set. Can you handle that for me, Lance? He said, pork chop, for you, anything. I remember that time that my mom and my dad needed some, how do you say, charcuterie, and you got to it. You took care of it. I said, hey, I know the butcher. What are you going to do? Anyway, so to make a long story less irritating, the next day over there, I took Gil Jr. up the street block. Lance took her for a ride in the car. She drove around. Went on the Kennedy, went on the Ike, went on the Stevenson. I mean, she drove. She spent the day. And then she came back, and no dents, no scratches. I noticed that Lance's knuckles were really white. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, next day we take her. She gets to the DMV, and there's a line a mile long. She says, Pops, I don't know if it's worth it. I said, it's worth it. Because then you get to go anywhere you want, any way you want. She said, you're going to buy me a car, Pops? No. But when you got your license, then you can buy your own car. How about that? We get home tonight, you send a letter to Lance at the driving school to tell him thanks. She said, okay, Pops. You sure you can't buy me a car? I said, I might give you my old Chevy. It's slightly used and it has a dent in it.